Hi, and welcome to Darkest Timelines, where we try really hard to ruin all of our collective childhoods by exploring some of the weirdest fan theories in gaming. This week we're taking a trip to the wonderful world of Pokémon, home to hundreds of adorable creatures, and more than frankly quite a few disturbing fan theories and mysteries. Okay, so the biggest and most famous Pokémon fan theory has to be the Great Pokémon War. Yep, you heard that right. The Great Pokémon War theory says that basically, before the events of the original game, that's red and blue, or green if you're in Japan, a terrible conflict raged across the land and left a post-apocalyptic world in its wake. Now, is this theory dramatically at odds with the original child-friendly tone of the first games? Yes. But is it also extremely fun to explore and pick apart? Also yes. So how and why did this fan theory come about? Well, there are three basic pillars. Pillar number one, Lieutenant Surge. So this is really where the Great Pokémon War theory found its feet. Back in the original game, before you fight Lieutenant Surge, the electric gym leader of Vermilion City, he says a line which feels really out of place in the world of Pokémon. He says, and I quote, "You won't last long in combat, kid. Electric Pokémon saved my life during the war." This frankly weird line, coupled with, his lieutenant title and his armor uniform, definitely raised a lot of questions, especially about what war is he talking about. Unfortunately, most of these questions go unanswered, but when has that ever stopped fans before? In later games and remakes, we hear that he was a fighter pilot in the US Air Force, no idea how that works, and that the other trainers in his gym also served with him during the military. Unfortunately, at no point are we given any clues about what this war was or when it was fought. But this single line from a game 25 years ago was enough to spur on legions of fans writing millions of theories. Pillar number two, the overall game's structure and plot. You know the plot of Pokémon, right? You're a 10-year-old kid who's been sent off into the world by their single remaining parent, and a friendly local professor has tasked you with recording all the wildlife you find on this little red iPhone. Well, if you're a Great Pokémon War truther, your alarm bells are already ringing. Namely, why, at 10 years old, would parents across the continent be happy shipping their kids off? Could it be that in a world of reduced parenting skills, there's no one there to stop you? I mean, in the first game, you've been raised by a single mom. Do you see yourself as the man of the house and you can do what you want? I mean, where is your dad? Where are all the dads? Could the answer be to these questions that a great war happened and everyone died? Maybe. And hey, what is up with Professor Oak sending you on that globe-trotting errand? Surely, in a world full of Pokémon, there are records of all of them everywhere. Unless, what if, in a giant conflict, all the records got erased, and now you're the only one left who can possibly help? Makes you think. There are also a bunch of other hints and clues to be found in the context of the Pokémon world. Namely, where are all the buildings and infrastructure, and why, in this world, are there only general stores and hospitals? And on that note, where is the government, and why is there only hyper-local police forces? You want to speak to the mayor? You've got a problem with your neighbours? Tough luck, all we've got is a bunch of Jennies and Joys running around.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All of these clues make a picture of a kind of Wild West sort of world, with Pokémon trainers as roving cowboys, solving problems and resolving their issues with fights. Pillar number three, where are all the grown-ups? So, if we take the Great Pokémon War theory at face value, and why wouldn't we, it also explains another curious aspect of the Pokémon world. Specifically, why is everyone either A, really old, or B, really young? All the trainers and characters you meet throughout the game are either fellow kids your age, teenagers striking out on their own, or elderly people running gyms and selling you Pokéflutes.
No problem, I can do it.
A big conflict, like the one posed in the Great Pokémon War theory, might just result in a lost generation, just like it did in the real world during World War I and World War II. By this, we mean a generation of people who were conscripted into war and then never returned home. And if there was a lost generation, say a lost generation of parents, it would explain why you and your rival and youngster Joey are free to roam the world and do as you please. Some fans of the theory also argue that a Great Pokémon War would justify the world's Pokémon obsession. All kids grow up wanting to be trainers, they attend Pokémon schools, they attend Pokémon fan clubs, they grow into teenagers, and maybe, just maybe, they start organised crime groups like Team Rocket.
Is that your idea of a transformation?
And there you have it. The Great Pokémon War theory is definitely one of our favourite fan theories in gaming, and we hope it's one of yours now too. Check back in with Darkest Timelines next week to see what other element of your childhood we can make you highly suspicious of. And if you have any suggestions or thoughts on today's theory, be sure to let us know in the comments. Bye!